Welcome to greyprimer.com. My name is Nick, I'm your host, and today we are going to be unboxing the Midgard Delvers from Dreadball. That's Mantic's brutal sci-fi sports game. Ordered this to expand out the amount of dwarfs I have for Blood Bowl teams. And I figured that it would be good to have sculpts that were of a different style to the Citadel, huge bearded Volkite berserkers and dwarf giants. And we'll see how they get on. We'll see what they look like. We'll see if they're on sprues and baggies, if the detail is good, if there are going to be lots of mold lines like we've experienced with some of Mantic's minis in the past, or whether they'll be more like this magnificent creature, the Mantic giant, with that level of detail and finish, just not size. They're going to be about the size of his ankle, I think. We'll see. Alrighty, so here we go. This is the Dreadball team, the Forge Fathers. Team name is Midgard Delvers. These are, Dreadball, of course, is Mantic's future sport game. The guilt I have is that I bought Dreadball. Oh, is it Extreme? Yeah, I think it's Dreadball Extreme. Last year, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, I think they had a huge sale at Mantic, and I got that. I used the minis for a bunch of stuff. I didn't really give the game 2 glances. But the game is still there. It did come with a gorgeous neoprene mat, I remember, which I love to see. But maybe someday. Maybe someday I'll actually play it. So, Dreadball, Forge Fathers team, Midgard Delvers. Delvers or Pelvers? I'm thinking Delvers. Yeah, let's call it Delvers. Yes, definitely Delvers. Sorry, Mantic. The Midgard Pelvers. Cool cover art. Nice sort of design here, nice layout. Mantic's logo. I do like Mantic stuff. And there we see some of the detail. What I like about these dwarfs, which is clearly what they are, is that they have, the ones who have beards visible, the beards are short. The dwarfs we've been seeing from the likes of Games Workshop have had these ridiculously long beards. I mean, we're talking down to their feet kind of beards. And we're expected to sort of believe that they're running around on a football field and not tripping on these things. And so, yeah, it's good to see dwarfs with their beards in check. Let's see if we can get in here and have a look. There we go. Okay, so we have our stats card. Oh, that's actually on card. That's nice. That is a nice touch. Player stats card there. We've got 3 different... Oh, it actually opens into a card. This is really nice. Check that out. And it's like a good stock too. Great image on the back too. Advancement tables. I do not know the game, so guard, jack, and striker. I guess are the 3 positionals here, included in the box. Yeah, that's lovely. It's really nicely put together. We've got these hex bases. I remember actually those from the Dreadball Extreme. Some more there. And some more here. Even more here. Let's have a look at these cards first. So this is the champion, is it? Sorry, the captain. Same difference. He's grizzled and stubborn, like any dwarf. Forge Father's captain, his name is Gorim Ironstone. And these are... Oh, I just spotted that. Cool, that Mantic point. Look at that. Normally it's just part of the box itself. But that's a really nice touch. A dedicated sort of Dreadball card. Oh, wait, do you have to cut the team captain thing to get to it? Oh, it went from being cool to being like, wait, what? you gotta cut this out, and then that'll just carve out the middle of this team captain rules. These are nice though. Exclamation mark, question marks, and then lots of different things. Fresh from the forge. Nice. Right, dwarf. And then we're into the bag minis. So let's go for this one first. One thing I do notice that the longer you're in this hobby, the more cavalier you are with hobby knives. And yeah, there's a lot of scar tissue on my fingers that says I should be a bit more careful. Right, let me just pop these down. Get some more light. Ooh. Oh, he looks good. Look at the nice details there. Ooh, that's a big seam line right down there through the middle of it. That'll take a little bit of TLC to get rid of. And a few bits of flash. Yeah. That's a chunky lump of flash there. A little bit of care is going to be needed to get that cleaned up. A bit of work involved in these ones. And that same seam. I don't mind seams when you see them, but when they run through something smooth like that, it's easy. But when they run through something that's bumpy like this, it always makes it a lot more difficult to clean effectively. And it runs underneath the arms there as well. Apart from those lines, though, it's really nicely detailed. It's a good solid plastic. I like the space on the back here for like a number. I will try not to get duplicates. It's going to be hard to track which are duplicates though, so we'll just quickly look at each of these. Again, that heavy mold line. I like the trainer up, the sneaker up at the back. That's cool. It'd be nice to have little clumps of mud or something hanging off that. Yeah, I know I've said it before, but Mantic have really come on in leaps and bounds with the level of detail. These little the little touches that like this seam, this mold line that runs across, that's just something that can be worked on, I'm sure, as they try different processes of manufacturing. That's cool as well. And then what's on the sprue? Oh, fists. Okay. Separate fists on the sprue. Yeah, not as much detail around the face as I expected from that sort of champion model, but you get your main bag that's duplicated, you have your team captain, and then you have this figure I'm about to bring onto camera who's in his own bag, or two of these in separate bags. That's kind of nice too. It just mirrors a kind of like a robot face. I know they're heavily armored and all, but there's some robotic about that one. Some mechanical. Oops, sorry for getting the light in frame there. I was concentrating so hard and seeing what his face looked like that this is just like drifting in from the side. But anyway. Okay, so yeah, I mean, first impressions of these is they're really nice sculpts. They're nice. They're a refreshing change from the other dwarfs that I've been dealing with, who just have these just ridiculously long beards. I mean, they're fun looking. They give a lot of sort of motion to the miniatures, but have that sort of impracticality. Being just so long that you'd clearly trip on it, or your opponents would have such an advantage over you from being able to grab your beard. I mean, we're talking beards here that are 1.5 to 2 foot long, and sure, the dwarfs are only about 4 foot tall, so it's that doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but I get the sort of the visual appeal of it. These dwarfs, on the other hand, this team from Mantic, the Forge Father team for Dreadball, is the beards are in check. And only the team captain has his exposed to the elements. The others are all behind these sort of armored faceplates. But yeah, lots of really nice detail in there. I will be back once I have them stuck together and on bases, and we'll see how they look. I will do my very best to clean off those mold lines, but they are kind of heavy, they are kind of central, so that will probably be the thing that takes the most time to try and get that cleaned. But I'll be back shortly. Take care, bye. And we're back. So here they are, the Midgard Delvers, which is the Forefathers team, the Forge Fathers team from Dreadball, manufactured by Mantic. The construction of the build process was pretty straightforward. Most minis were bagged with their component parts, with hands or, heads or whatever. The problem I had really is straight away I could see the mold lines. And then as I started to put them together and then clean them up, it just became a frustrating, repeated, sort of like cleaning across the top of the helmet, cleaning down into the armor, across the legs, the arms. It just seemed, the mold lines were constant across each mini in the same spots. And it took a while to go through them and make sure they were all cleaned. And I'm sure I got sort of to a point where I wasn't doing it as... I certainly wouldn't have done the 13th mini the same level of cleanup as I did the first mini. I kind of lost a bit of heart at that stage with cleaning them up. And a little bit of frustration started to come in the actual sculpts as well, especially around the head. I do like the armor generally across the whole mini. But when we got into sort of the heads just being completely helmeted, you couldn't really see anyone's face. I don't know, it took away the personality of the minis for me, and that's what I felt was lacking. So I did some work from my spares box to do a little bit to bring a bit of personality back into them. But I will show you the ones, first of all, that I didn't do anything with. Really, so this is you get one injured character. As you can see, sort of the armor's pretty solid there. I like these big plates on the back, so you could, put on like decals of numbers and things. You can see a little bit of the face poking through the gap in the helmet there. Another one that I did nothing with, as regards sort of modifying. I'm not seeing too many of the mold lines here. Looks like I did. Maybe this was mini one that I worked on. Pretty solid looking characters. You can tell they're outfitted for serious day on the sports pitch. This is was it the captain of the team? Let me see, it says on the back. Yes, team captain. So with him, you do get to see his face, his beard. It's quite angular. It's quite nicely sculpted. But this one, yeah, you can see a bit of the face detail. Only a half helmet there. Ready for a scrap again. Fully helmeted. Impossible to tell sort of that there's a living creature under there. You see a little bit of the mold line there. Maybe this was number 13. I didn't do so much work on him. But those mold lines were a bit of a curse. So, what did I do? I had spares from a Volkite Berserkers kit from Games Workshop. That is I think they're like naked sort of fire dwarfs. I'm not really sure. What are they? Fire slayers. And they come with additional sort of these fantastic feather plumes on top of helmets. Great, expressionate faces. And I actually used spare heads that I had of theirs to take these Forge Fathers minis to another level. In my opinion, it's really transformed the miniature for me. Gave it a lot of character, a lot of heart, and I just was feeling immediately better about them as soon as these heads started to go on. So these are the main part of this is Mantic, and really I just think it works so well together. And looking at this, I think these Forge Feathers would have done better with visible faces. I mean, the plumes and stuff are excessive, but in some respect. But I think that the helmets, the beards, the faces, it just makes this mini, like, it takes it to the next level. It's totally transformative. I mean, I was even able to get a bit of a tilt to the head there. So this guy looks like he's sort of a quarterback, a thrower sort of dude, pointing down the pitch, or maybe pointing at the next person he's going to swing that other fist at. But hopefully you can see what I mean about bringing personality into these, and that I did feel it was lacking, and that now they're very much something of a higher quality. I mean, it just looks like that was made for that mini. It just looks like that's how it came out of the box. And again here. I mean, I love that those Volkite Berserkers kits just come with a good chunk of extras, which allowed me to personalize these to a nice level. So there you go. I'm not a huge fan of the faces on the standard Dreadball minis there. On the standard Forge Feathers team minis. But it did give me a platform to make it into something a bit better, or a lot better looking for me. And added a bit of personality and you know, character into it. And I could start to feel for that as a player in the Dreadball pitch. But without that, no, just a little bit bland for me, and a few production issues with those mold lines, just creating some frustration when the build was done, and I was in the process of cleaning everything up. But generally, good value for money. I'd be a little hesitant to get more of them. If they need me to get like sort of a separate Volkite Berserkers kit to give them a bit of life. Thank you very much. Like, subscribe. All the links to all the things that are in the comment or in the details below. And I'll catch you next time. Take care now. Bye bye.